Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Devin and this is Carpenter Hill. I have been wanting to make this channel for at least the last 5 years, and I'm so glad that I'm finally getting around to doing it. My favorite form of entertainment when I come home from work each day is to get onto YouTube and watch the newest videos from all of my favorite horror content creators. I would say that it's my love of the genre as well as the inspiration that I pull from all of those different creators that has really driven me to make this channel. What I really want out of it is to just have a lot of fun. I want to get to know all of you and discuss horror with you. I feel like I don't have a lot of different people in my personal life that enjoy horror quite as much as I do, but I know that there's tons of you out there on YouTube that probably share the same types of thoughts that I do on it. So my journey with horror started pretty humbly, and I was definitely a bit of a chicken when it came to watching scary things when I was a little girl. I remember my grandma put on the movie Tremors for me, and it terrified me. She had to stop it partway through, which I think is just really silly now because it's obviously not a scary movie at all, but it's one that I look fondly on. And I would say it was probably once I was in the double digits that I was allowed to start watching scary stuff again. And the first movie that I remember watching in its entirety was Scream. This one is absolutely the first horror movie that made me a fan. I was completely enthralled watching it for the first time. You know, it has that whodunit aspect to it, and I think that the first one does that better than any of them. I definitely suspected everyone, with all the red herrings that they're throwing out there. And it was just such an awesome experience to watch that for the first time. If I could have someone use one of those neuralizers from Men in Black on me to make it so I could watch that again for the first time, I would do it in a heartbeat. It's definitely a movie that I have rewatched countless times, but to see it for that first time again would just be amazing. So the second movie that really made me a fan was Halloween. Halloween is my favorite franchise for sure. I love it for all that it is, the ups and the downs. I can find something to love really in all of them. And I love that it's kind of a choose your own adventure type of thing, since there are so many different timelines. You can really pick one for whatever mood that you're in at that time, and I think that's so cool. And Halloween is a movie that had such a simple premise, really, at the end of the day, but it was brought to us with such love and care by everyone on the cast and crew of the movie. And it has definitely become one of the undisputed best horror movies of all time, and really one of the best movies of all time, in my opinion. And Michael is my favorite of the big three slashers, for sure. I love how quiet and menacing he is. That's what I want out of a horror villain, for sure. So the last of the horror movies that really made me a fan came quite a bit later, and that was It Chapter 1. So my mom was the one who really got me into horror. We watched so many different classic ones together, and she also got me into reading Stephen King books as well. So when I was in high school, I decided that I wanted to try to read it. And I quickly fell off of reading it. It's such a huge book, and I didn't have a lot of time to read at that point. So then, fast forward to 2016-ish, like toward the end of it, when they were talking about It Chapter 1 coming out, I was like, I'm going to go ahead and give this book another chance and try to do it right this time. And 2017 ended up being a very hard year for me personally. So in January, my ex-husband and I had a miscarriage in around 10 weeks, I would say. And it definitely broke me. It was one of the hardest things that I have ever gone through. And it's still stuck with me even after having a child in 2024. But then fast forward to early summer of 2017, and my ex-husband left me. So just those two devastating losses back to back made it a really, really rough time for me. But the one thing that I could really latch onto was finishing this book because I was completely determined at that point to get it done before the movie came out. And I'm a slow reader, but I pushed myself and I did get it done. And I'm so glad that I did. Obviously, if you know anything about the book, there is a pretty controversial section in it, and I'm glad that it's never made it into any of the adaptations that we've gotten. But other than that part, it is a really fantastic story and a beautiful one at the end of the day. So I was glad that I got it done. And my mom and I got tickets for the early Thursday premiere of the movie. And I'm pretty sure it was completely sold out. If not, it was very close to being that. And that's so rare for our small Northwest Ohio Towns theater, especially with a horror movie. But I think that, you know, how viral the trailer had went just brought people out in droves to see the movie. And I was just sitting there completely in awe of it. And I know she was as well. It is equal parts scary and beautiful. You know, Scream was the first movie that really made me a horror fan, but this one just reinvigorated that and helped me find myself again. So to close out this video, I want to talk about some other stuff that I want out of this channel and what I want to bring to you guys. So I obviously want to talk about horror movies, horror TV shows, as well as miniseries and limited series. Really anything that you guys want me to talk about, please let me know. I have no problem covering some things that you guys suggest to me, as long as, you know, there's enough desire there for it. There might be some things that I might not want to cover. You know, I'm not big on extreme horror or anything like that. That's one example. But if that should come up, I will definitely address it. Other than that, I really am adaptable and we'll talk about whatever with you guys. So I'm thinking, at least right now, I want to do some top 10s, rankings, tier lists, as well as I'm going to do reviews of new horror movies that are coming out, any that I'm able to go see. I do live in a small place, and unfortunately, the horror releases are very limited. We usually get the biggest ones, and then it's pretty rare to get some of the smaller releases. But I'm going to do what I can to go out and see those and review them for you guys. And I would always let you know if I am going to ever talk about spoilers or anything like that, because the last thing I want to do is ruin a movie for anybody. I also want to do some high concept horror videos. I'm very excited about those. I have some different ones laid out already that I'm going to be talking about. So if you liked this video, please leave a like on it and comment down below if you have any suggestions for this channel going forward. You can also let me know if any of these ones would make your list of horror movies that made you a fan, or if these ones aren't that for you, then you can let me know what ones are, because I would love to have those discussions with you guys. And if you really love horror as much as I do, then subscribe to my channel, and I'll be trying to bring content to you guys each week. I'm hoping to do a couple videos a week whenever I'm able. I do work full time, and I obviously have to take care of my son, but I have the goal to at least do 2 a week. So I think that is everything that I have for you today. Thanks for watching.